The Rays escaped from Gotham City yesterday with a win, thanks to the hot bat of Matt Duffy and a strong pitching performance from the bullpen. Tonight, Tampa Bay arrives deep in the heart of Texas, where the hottest team in baseball awaits, the world champion Houston Astros. We welcome you to the Bayou City of Houston, Texas. The road trip continues for the Rays, and this will be game one of a three-game series between the Rays and the Houston Astros. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays winners yesterday in New York. It was a difficult series up there, and the Rays figure to have their hands full with Houston here tonight. But to get out of New York with a victory had a lot to do with Matt Duffy's day. In fact, he's had a great month.
Listen, Matt Duffy, I'm suffering from Matt Duffy fatigue, and it's because we talk about him all the time, and for good reason, I guess, because he continues to swing the bat very well for the Tampa Bay Rays. Been their most consistent hitter all season long. That goes without saying, but look what he's done. 16 games in June, 7 have been multi-hit efforts that average 339, 8 extra base hits, 7 runs driven in. You know, the Rays didn't score a lot in New York, but guess what? Matt Duffy, a big reason why they scored at all, and he just continues to get it done.
Yeah, now to the Houston Astros, the defending world champs, and boy, are they playing like it. They've won 11 in a row, and they're hitting on all cylinders here.
You know, they really are. And you're coming off of a 10-day road trip, or a 10-game road trip, where they obviously went 10-0. All facets of the team are clicking, starting with the offense. How about this? Averaging almost 7.5 runs a game. In the 11-game winning streak, they've scored at least 7 runs in 8 of them, including the last 5. The average of 327 for an entire lineup, that's absurd. 21 home runs. They have hit a home run, at least one, in all 11 games. So you're getting contributions 1 through 9 from the lineup. You pair that up with what their pitching staff can do. Look out. An ERA of 2.91. That's probably a little high for them. Opponent's average there of 2.20. 10.5, more than 10.5 strikeouts per 9. There's power stuff all the way around. And in this 11-game winning streak, the bullpen has been even better than the starting staff, if you can believe that.
And tonight the Rays will face Garrett Cole, the hard-throwing right-hander, and they will counter with the opener format. That will be Ryan Stanek. And when we come back, Michelle Margot has more on the opener when we return.
defending World Series champs, the Houston Astros. Well, today's bullpen day opener, Ryan Stanek has been on an absolute roll in the month of June. He's pitched in 6 games, but 3 of those games are starts. He has allowed no runs and struck out 11 in 8 innings, only allowed 3 hits and 3 walks. Here is manager Kevin Cash on what he has done so well in the month of June.
Confidence. I think he's gotten a little comfortable in this role. He's, I think he'd be the first to say he can still do some better things, be a little bit more efficient, get ahead of hitters. But ultimately, when he gets the ball over the plate and establishes that he's going to throw strikes, it's a lot of power, and it'll challenge any lineup with, the velocity and then the split and the slider that he throws.
Well, Stanek tries to keep things rolling against the AL West leading Houston Astros. Garrett Cole on the hill for the Stros. Game 1 of the series from Houston. Coming up after the break, Dwayne and BA have the call. Next.
Welcome back to Houston, where the Rays and the Astros square off for the first time this year. Houston in with a record of 48-25 and riding an 11-game winning streak. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Rays tonight, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Matt Duffy's going to lead off again. He'll be at third base, followed by Jake Bowers at first, and then Wilson Ramos, the catcher, will hit third. C.J. Cron will be in the cleanup spot, hitting in front of Joey Wendell. Willie Adames will hit sixth, with Malik Smith in center batting seventh. Carlos Gomez in right. Johnny Field will be the number 9 hitter.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Houston Astros is going to be right-hander Garrett Cole. And look at his American League ranks. He's got 8 wins. That is tied for 5th against just 1 defeat, by the way. ERA 2.40. That's 4th in the American League. The 175 average, second to his teammate Justin Verlander. And how about that? He's got him by 1 in the strikeout total. Or the next closest at 129. He's got 130 punch-outs in just 93 2/3 innings.
All set to play ball. Matt Duffy stepping in. And the first pitch of this game from Cole swung on. High fly ball back into center. Tony Kemp Backing up in front of the track, and he makes the catch. 409 to straightaway center, and Kemp had about 2 to 3 steps before he hit the warning track out there.
Well, let's take a look at that Houston Astro defense and see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, we've got Marwin Gonzalez, Tony Kemp, and Josh Reddick. Across that infield, third to first, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel, with Brian McCann behind the plate.
Jake Bowers, and he takes the fastball in there at 97, and we figure to see a lot of that, BA, tonight from Cole.
Well, he's got, I mean, high heat, power stuff. Obviously, is evidenced by his strikeouts. Hard slider, you see right there. Curveball and a changeup.
1-1 the count, and does not use that sinker as much as he did with Pittsburgh. 2-1 now. Bowers starting the night at 250. Houston with the shift on for Bowers. And there's ball 3 up and away. And with the 3-1 count, Bregman deepens up on the left side of the infield. Big cut right there on a fastball, and it's 3-2.
Well, Jake Bowers looking for a heater 3-1. Garrett Cole's going to give him a heater 3-1. You expect the big swing, but when he elevates it, that is extremely difficult to get to.
And Bowers takes ball 4, a pitch in. And I don't think Garrett Cole was all that pleased with the call from Brian Knight.
Well, you look at the location of that pitch, and it very easily could have been called a strike. Right down there at the bottom of the zone. Borderline goes the Rays' way.
Here's Wilson Ramos starting the night at 286. Takes it to right field. Reddick will go back. That's got a chance. Gone. Home run to the opposite field for Wilson Ramos on the first pitch of the at-bat. And the Rays break out to a 2-0 lead. Well, a walk and then the home run. Number 9 for Ramos.
And that's what you need to do. You know, if Garrett Cole is going to hurt himself with walks, self-inflicted errors, you've got to cash in. And Wilson Ramos sitting for that heater, gets one, and really a no-doubter into right field. Quick early lead for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Here's C.J. Cron. Pitch is a strike. Well, Ramos making a push for a spot on the All-Star team as the American League catcher. He's been behind Gary Sanchez in the voting, and that won't hurt his cause right there at all. 296 on that fastball. That's the second career home run for Ramos off Cole. He has 3 hits off him and 11 at bats, 2 of those home runs. One, 2 the count to Cron. Two and 2.
Well, Garrett Cole, remarkably consistent all season long. 3 earned runs or fewer in 13 of his 14 starts. In fact, his last time out with the most earned runs that he gave up in a start this year.
Which is fouled away.
That was in Oakland against the A's. Went 6 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, a couple of home runs, and that's something that teams have been able to capitalize a little bit on him.
He's given up 12 now in around 94 innings. Count still 2-2. Five of those have come in the month of June. The cut and the miss. Thrown, the first strikeout posted tonight. Out number 2 here in the first inning.
Boy, sharp breaking ball there by Garrett Cole, 82 miles an hour. That break down and away, gets good depth, good sweep.
First pitch to Wendell, in on him, and he fouls it back. That's 97 to start this at bat. Bowers walked, Ramos homered. 2 outs, bases empty with a couple runs in. And there's a strike call. 0-2. Some sharp break on that one. A curveball of his, a knuckle curve.
And by virtue of his arm slot, he doesn't get the 12-6 break. You see how much sweep it has.
And right down and in on the slider there. And a strikeout swinging. Rays finish in the first, but Wilson Ramos connects to the opposite field. A 2-run homer, and the Rays carry that lead into the bottom of the first. The inning. Starting lineup for Houston presented by your Southern Ford dealers. George Springer and Alex Bregman, followed by Jose Altuve, the first 3. Correa, Gurriel, and Reddick down the middle. Gonzalez, McCann, and Kemp, 7, 8, and 9. George Springer starts the night hitting .282, and the first pitch from Ryan Stanek is a high fastball at 97.
We're making his third start here in the last, or second start in the last 3 days. He's done that now 6 times. Opened up a ball game. ERA .255 and 17 plus.
Big cut right there at 98 and a miss. Springer let it loose there on that first swing.
Well, George Springer has hit so many home runs to lead off a ball game, and so facing a guy like Stanek with a big fastball, the first hittable one he gets, he's going to turn it loose.
Now 2-1.
Nice to have a guy right up there at the top of the lineup to try to ambush as a pitcher settles into a ball game.
Well, he has 5 leadoff home runs this year and 22 since the 2016 season. 2-2. He's refined that approach a little bit. He's always been a big swinger. A lot of strikeouts in his early year or 2, but a lot of power as well, and he's cut down the strikeout number. Pitch in on him, popped up, and that's Bowers in foul territory taking care of Springer. So it's 98 in there from Stanek.
Look at the Rays D, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source, and in the outfield left to right, we've got Johnny Field, Malik Smith, and Carlos Gomez. And across that infield, third to first, Matt Duffy, Willie Adames, Joey Wendell, and Jake Bowers, with Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
Now the third baseman, Bregman. He's in double figures with 10 home runs, batting .268. 98 is high this time, 1-0. Shot into center field. Malik Smith will go to the track for it and make the catch. Out number 2. That brings up Jose Altuve.
Well, let's take, Dwayne, a look at his scouting report on Jose. Highly decorated. You know, you look over the course of his career, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger winner, and was the MVP a season ago in 2017, and he does it really on the backbone of extraordinary hand-eye coordination. If you look at the averages that he has put up, I mean, right now he's hitting .337 with a .393 on-base percentage, and he's hit at least .337 in 4 of the last 5 seasons.
Steps in with 99 hits on the year. Skies it into right. It's caught by Gomez, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the first. 2-0 Tampa Bay. The home run by Wilson Ramos. On to the second with Willie Adames to lead off against Garrett Cole. Alex Smith will follow, and then Carlos Gomez. Adames, 22 so far this year. Takes the pitch a little bit high, 1-0.
Well, you know, Garrett Cole completely has revamped the style of pitcher that he is. You can see what he did his career, you know, with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And, you know, they wanted him, you know, heavy sinker based. And so now he comes over to the Houston Astros, and they tell him, you take that 2-seamer and blow it out of your Astro, because we want to see nothing but 4-seamers up in the zone. And what that's led to is a lot more strikeouts. But you see, he's been victimized a little bit by the home run, but he'll take that. You get to talk about those strikeout numbers, and he's just absolutely blown guys away here in 2018.
Well, the thing about the walks, they're way down. He has 130 strikeouts coming into this game, now 132. He's walked only 25 men.
Yeah.
That strikeout to walk ratio. And how about the one walk against the Rays in that first inning? And Wilson Ramos, makes him pay. That's what you got to do against him. He doesn't hurt himself.
Tap foul. Still 2-2. There is strike 3 called on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. So Adames down on strikes following the Ramos home run. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Cole.
Well, that'll get your attention and lock you right back in there. And Garrett Cole with an easy 98 just kind of locks up Willie. Well, listen, you get an early lead off a pitcher the caliber of Garrett Cole, and then you look to build from there, but you've already put this team back on their heels a little bit.
Malik Smith. Well, with this Houston ball club coming in winners in their last 11 straight, it's almost like taking a stick and poking the hornet's nest. Sometimes you got to do that, though.
If you want to win.
1-1. Cole, 27 years old. Went to school at UCLA. Foul ball back. You know, he was originally drafted out of high school by the Yankees. He was a big Yankee fan, grew up on the West Coast, still rooted for the Yankees, and did not sign with them. Went to school at UCLA instead, and eventually picked by the Pirates. He was not a big winner at UCLA. I think he was a game over 500 in his collegiate career.
You start to look at certain guys and they don't win there, but the stuff is projectable. The body type is projectable. And I'll tell you, he has really grown into it after leaving Pittsburgh. Heavy on that sinker, like we were talking, down and into the righties, trying to get him to roll over it, down and away to the lefties to try to get him reaching for it, and completely revamp it. So we don't see that anymore. Here's a four-seamer, spin it up in the zone, work your off speed off of that. Can't argue with the results.
Johnny Venters up in the bullpen for the Rays. Smith fouling one away. Now here's the deal between Pittsburgh and the Astros. A 4-for-1 deal, and the Astros gave up some talent, but happy to do it to get Garrett Cole to add to what was already a strong rotation.
Dwayne, anytime that you can give up that much and say, do it again in a heartbeat, there you go. That shows you what he's given this team.
Well, another strikeout right there. So we've seen him use the knuckle curve a couple times to get a strike 3. Seen him on the slider, seen him on the fastball. And now Carlos Gomez. Gomez spent some time here in Houston and struggled. And had a mixed reception when his name was announced. He fouls it back, strike 1.
If by mixed you mean booze, yes, you're right. He seemed to enjoy it.
Mixed and booze seem to go together.
Yes, they do.
Creates a little smile on the face of Gomez.
For a little while, then there's a tendency to frown towards the end of the night.
Swing and a miss. Goes after that pitch upstairs.
Downright sad the next morning.
Thank goodness for coffee. The 0-2 is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He fouls it back, losing his helmet in the process. That ball's out of play. On deck, Johnny Field. Foul ball coming straight back, and that's out of play in the section just beneath the booth. Nice play by a fan who stood his ground.
Most of them do that here in Texas.
Yes, they do. Two balls, two strikes. Cole starts tonight 8-1. There's a line shot back toward the corner and left. That's right off the scoreboard. Gomez will have to dig hard into second, and he is trying to stretch it into a double with Altuve putting the tag on him. Well, Gomez lined it off the scoreboard. Gonzalez got a good carom and throws out Gomez at second base. Right on the money. 2-0 Rays. Second inning, Rays holding this 2-run lead. Take a look at this play again.
The carom and Marwin Gonzalez turning and throwing that ball. He was stepping and throwing before he even picked up second base. Went to the baseball bare hand and was already throwing all in the same motion and needed to be that good and efficient to just get Carlos Gomez. That was a heck of a play by Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, Carlos Correa leads off here and bounces this one down to third. Matt Duffy's got it and makes the play. One pitch, one out, and with that, we'll check in with Michelle.
Thank you, Dwayne. Well, some exciting news on the injury front. Outfielder Kevin Kiermaier is here in Houston. He will be activated tomorrow. He is thrilled to be back. In fact, the reason he's back is because he was texting manager Kevin Cash and hitting coach Chad Mottola nonstop saying, how many more line drives do I have to hit in my rehab games in order to meet you guys in Houston? So they finally flew him out here, and he said he feels great at the plate right now. So I'm sure the team will be very happy to have him out in center field tomorrow, but he will have to face Verlander in his first game back in 2 months.
Well, you don't want to leave those line drives in a rehab assignment. Oh, no, if you're hitting line drives right now, let's get up here and take a swing or two.
Yeah, and why not come out against Verlander, probably the best starting pitcher in the American League, maybe in Major League Baseball right now. Get it out of the way. Jump into the deep end.
Ground ball by the mound, but Wendell is right there, positioned perfectly to get Gurriel. A couple of quick outs on ground balls here from Ryan Stanek. Stanek made only 8 pitches in the first inning. And 3 pitches here. And Josh Reddick's left-handed bat is due up. And we're going to get a pitching change presented by the Florida Lottery. The Rays up here 2-0, so they make the early change. Everyone deserves a second chance. Just play Grouper. Enter your lucky money ticket online, and you're registered for the $400,000 Super Grouper second chance promotion. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Johnny Venters will get the call after Stanek faced 5 men in the opener role. Hey, they've taken him out with a no-hitter going.
Listen, what is that, the 7th start that the Rays have had? Not giving up a hit? Cash, quick hook.
They did stretch him out a third of an inning. He pitched an inning and a third the last time. An inning and 2/3 this time.
With 11 pitches.
That's right.
It's pretty efficient.
And Josh Reddick is on to face Johnny Venters. First pitch is a strike from the Rays lefty. Reddick a .242 average. 1-1.
That pitch was like out of the Matrix. I mean, that two-seamer running up and in, and Reddick getting the bending.
It's a limbo move by Reddick. It's 3-1 now. Fly ball the other way. It sends Field back just in front of the track to make the grab. And a 1-2-3 inning. On to the third we go. 2-0 Rays. Field up there to lead off against Garrett Cole. And what we have here by way of comparison, this snapshot in time, a little different approach. 13 different starters for the Rays, 5 for Houston. Tied for the fewest in the major leagues with Colorado. Field sends one into right. Reddick is there and makes the catch. Johnny Field after the first pitch. One away.
With the Rays, you know, obviously a different approach with the opener, and Ryan Stanek did that here this evening and did it quite well, by the way. And also injuries to the starting rotation. You think Chris Archer and Jake Faria on the disabled list right now. Nathan Eovaldi missed some time earlier in the season. The Rays, the guys they had down at AAA for depth, you know, Brent Honeywell, Jose De Leon, Tommy John surgery, they're out. Even right down to Anthony Banda, you know, got some time in the big leagues and was another guy to project as, you know, potentially a left-handed starter down the road and quite an effective one. And he went down with an injury.
Well, those are high-quality young arms the Rays have lost to Tommy John surgery. There's a ball inside to Duffy, 2-0. Well, all of this started the idea that the Rays would have 4 starters and then go to the bullpen. Then they had to go 3 starters and a couple bullpens. And for a time, all practical purposes, 2 starters, and get creative with the openers and the bullpen days.
You get about 2.5 now.
Yeah.
You've got Eovaldi, you've got Blake Snell, you've got Ryan Yarbrough is a coin flip. He may start a ball game, he may come out of the pen that particular day. Stanek has started 2 of the last 3 games. I mean, it's been an interesting mix across the board, but I'll tell you, the guys have actually adapted to it quite well, as well as you could expect, and they've thrown the ball well.
And Kevin Cash was indicating it might be a little while before Archer is available again. So it'll be interesting to watch that. Of course, that will impact how the Rays handle games and who starts and how long they pitch and how quickly you get into the bullpen. A little high with the breaking ball. Count is full to Duffy.
I think everybody, when Chris went down, was hopeful that it was a start, maybe 2 max, and get him back in here, especially because of this tough stretch that the Rays are going through with who they're playing.
There's ball 4. A miss just off the plate. So Duffy's aboard with 1 out.
But as you said, it doesn't look like obviously that's the case, and could be even longer. Now they're definitely going to have to be nimble. That's why even the other day with Wilmer Font, you know, getting an opportunity, he's going to open, and maybe we'll let him go to see, you know, as effective as he is will determine the length of his outcome, and he came within a pitch of qualifying for a win, 4 2/3.
And the Rays are already talking about taking that maybe a step further.
Well, you know, you're going to have innings. If you only have 2 bona fide guys, they're going to start every 5th day. You know, then, you know, Yarbrough's going to have to eat up a ton of innings. Font's going to have to do what he did. You think about Pruitt and Andriese. You're going to have quality innings somewhere.
Runner goes. The pitch is fouled out. It's 1-1. Speaking of quality innings, what a great matchup tomorrow night with Blake Snell pitching for the Rays against Justin Verlander. That's one of those matchups that you wait a good part of the season to try to catch.
Yep. You hope to get it once, and here you're going to get it the second game of this series.
1-1 count on Bowers.
And I will tell you, I'll tell you this. You know, and if you talk to these guys, they're going to say, listen, I'm facing the opposing lineup. I'm not worried about who's on the other side pitching for the other team. But, you know, they're going to give you all that talk. You know exactly who you're going up against, and both of these guys are fired up, looking forward to it, and starting to dial in right now. They know that it's a marquee matchup, as much as you say otherwise.
I'll tell you, you know, you talk about players you'd pay to see, and we do that all the time with the likes of Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Altuve here on this Houston club. To watch Blake Snell pitch, he is worth every cent of it. To watch a young pitcher take the steps that he's made so far, last year, at the end of the year, and so far this year, he's been fun to watch. I really look forward to seeing those matchups, and particularly tomorrow with Verlander on the hill against him.
He's learning how to pitch. He's no longer a thrower. Yeah, I mean, he is learning how to pitch with elite stuff, 4 different offerings.
Runner goes, and the pitch is a strike call. The throw into third, and Duffy's going to wind up at third base on a stolen base, his 4th of the year, and an error charged to Brian McCann.
Well, Brian McCann has not been throwing the ball very well for the Astros. So here you go, the Rays pushing the envelope, and something you got to do against a guy like Garrett Cole, and that throw right there shows you what we're talking about. Sailed on him, wide of the mark, well wide of the mark, and now the Rays with a 1-out chance here, runner at third, and the infield comes in.
So Bowers looking for some contact here, and he draws the walk down and in. So 2 walks in this inning. First and third for the Rays, with Wilson Ramos walking to the plate.
Well, 25 walks on the season for Garrett Cole. That's already 3 here in 2 1/3. This is what happened the last time he walked a man. First pitch, Wilson Ramos, fastball up and away. Take you right out to right field. Looking to raise that early lead. That's where we stand now.
So Ramos now with 9 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Ball, no strikes. Up the right side, that's going to be out of play. 1-1. 3 walks in a game equals his single game high this year. Last time when he pitched against the Texas Rangers, start before last on the 7th of June. Move to first, Bowers back in. Big opportunity, and against a guy like this, you need to get something here. 2-1.
Well, here's the thing that's hurt Garrett Cole too. The fastball command has not been what it normally is, but he has not been able to keep that slider for the most part anywhere near the zone against the right-handed hitters. Curveball been spotty, and we've not seen too many changeups, and the 1 or 2 we've seen have not been very good.
Little tapper, that'll be foul, and squares the count at 2-2.
Guy like Cole, though, you know, they're always capable of locking it in at any time. So when they open that door, even if it's just a crack, you've got to find a way to kick it in a little bit. Rays have did a good job of that. Wilson Ramos did in that first inning, and looking to get greedy here.
Up and in. This is the 3rd consecutive full count Cole has had. He walked Duffy, walked Bowers, and now 3-2 on Ramos. Runner breaks off first, and ball 4. A breaking pitch stayed high, and Cole has walked. The bases loaded here, and is going to get a visit from Brent Strom, the Houston pitching coach.
Well, go back. Look at the last 2 pitches. Fastball trying to come in, way up and in. That's a curveball, stays well up above the zone. The sliders have been yanked down and away. The changeup have stayed, you know, arm side up. Just inconsistent with everything right now.
Let's take a look at those pitches.
2-2, trying to make a pitch here. Action pitch. Not even close. Okay. We'll come back with a breaking ball off of that. Feel good with the curve. Nope, that thing just spun and stayed up around the shoulders.
C.J. Cron's going to be the hitter as they break up the conference on the mound. Rays have 2 runs, 2 hits. They've drawn 4 bases on balls. So here's Cron, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Cron 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts yesterday in New York. 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts on Saturday. And a strikeout on the breaking ball here the first time up tonight. It's been one of those prolonged stretches that you will often see a power hitter go through. Trying to break out and swings through the fastball down 0-2.
You can see right there Cole trying to get that pitch up and in. See teams do that an awful lot with C.J. Cron. Crowd him.
Upstairs, 99. That's missed a little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be wide. 2-2. Big time if Cron could break out of what is now an 0 for 20. And a swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. Well, the struggle continues. That's the second out. Strikeout number 5 for Cole.
And frustrating because Cron goes after this slider that is well off the plate away. And really came out of the hand down below the zone. And you know, when C.J. Cron is locked in, he sees that ball out of the hand as a ball, and it becomes a much easier take for him. You're trying to generate something and get something going, tend to be a little over aggressive.
Well, there's Joey Wendell, who struck out his first time. Gets his second look at Cole. Popped up foul, out of play. Big opportunity for the Rays. And it comes down to Wendell against Cole. Cole walking the bases loaded. 1-1. Breaking ball stayed up and away. Ground ball left side. That's going to go through. Base hit. Duffy scores. Bowers on his way to the plate. He is safe. Got in with that hand on the plate. And over to third goes Ramos. Wendell comes up with a big base hit through the left side, and the Rays take a 4-0 lead. Clutch hit indeed for Joey Wendell right there to tap it through the left side and drive in 2.
And just when you think Garrett Cole's going to wiggle out of this mess that he created, Joey Wendell gets on top of a pitch that's away and just slaps it in the hole. Marwin Gonzalez, an excellent effort on that throw, but it hair up the first base line, forces Brian McCann with the long tag, and Joey Wendell has doubled the Rays lead.
And a great slide there by Bowers head first to the outside with the hand on the plate. And here is Willie Adames. chasing a pitch upstairs, strike one. So the walks give the Rays an opportunity, and they make Cole pay.
Well, Dwayne, here's the slide you're talking about, and getting some help right here. Here comes Willie Adames, and he's saying outside, outside, outside. That's getting some help, and I'll tell you what, that's good, good teamwork right there. Adames and Bowers, young guys.
Tapper foul. Yeah, that's great. You know, the two of them have played at all different levels together in the minor leagues. And they've helped each other all the way along, and they continue to do that here. And a great job with that guy on deck to help guide in that fourth run.
And he was getting close to the action there, too.
Ground ball shortstop. Correa is going to take it to first out there. The Rays send 7 men to the plate. They score 2. Those 2 runs driven in by Joey Wendell. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 4-0 Tampa Bay. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the Rays have built a 4-0 lead. Last 2 runs driven in by Joey Wendell. Bender's on the hill. Gonzalez leads it off and takes that pitch for a strike. McCann next, and then Kemp. Ryan Stanek was the opener for the Rays. Worked an inning and 2/3. Made 11 pitches. It's fouled. It's 1-2. Gonzalez, switch hitter. He has 5 home runs, and they've all come from the left side. Bender's in there turning him around to the right side. Down around his feet. A 2-2 count. 2 to Gonzalez. McCann on deck. And a cut and a miss. So Venters picks up the first strikeout for Rays pitching. And one gone in the bottom of the third.
You know, it's not just the velocity on the fastball that lets you know that Johnny Venters has that elite hand speed once again. Sometimes it's the break and the depth on the breaking ball. You saw how late that was. Tight spin. We've seen the velocity continue to climb, and it really has seeped into all of his offerings.
Ryan McCann, pitch stayed up. Ball, no strikes. He's trying to break that one in, and it just would not break. Now the fastball in there for a strike right on that corner.
The Rays extreme with the shift. Willie Adames out there in shallow right field.
And that one is a ball getting away from Ramos. 2-2. Close. Down and away. And the count is full. Tony Kemp on deck, another left-handed hitter. Matt Andrees up in the bullpen. And McCann, did he go? Yes, he did. He is out on strikes. Tried to check, but could not. So back-to-back strikeouts.
Late movement on the fastball. This start on the inside corner. He started to go for it, and that thing took off in. There's a good shot of it, and it just all sorts of tied him up.
Here's Kemp, 27 years old. He's versatile, can play the outfield and center field tonight. Also some time on the infield, primarily at second base. A tap to the right side, and the toss is not going to be in time. Kemp can get down the line. Bowers made the pickup and tried to lead Venters to the bag so that he was moving in the right direction. Venters tried to get a tag, but all of that in vain.
Yeah, you got to almost go for the tag right off the bat and realize you're not going to beat him there. No chance you're getting to the bag. Boy, you almost lunge at him. I don't think there was any way. And Kemp did a good job, too, of staying to the outside of the baseline and veering away right there from Johnny Venters, making it next to impossible.
You see Kemp take off down that first base line. And so as the left-handed hitting Kemp reaches, that's going to be it for Venters. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Sports Sun brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Ball goes to the bullpen here in the third inning with the Rays leading 4-0. Matt Andriese will get the call.
Well, 41 and a third innings. He's got 40 strikeouts, just 8 walks. ERA 3.27. The Rays continue to piece this thing together as the game moves along, and now it's Matt Andriese. And you figure as long as he's throwing the ball well, he's going to be out there for a few.
So here is Springer, who fouled out to begin this game against Ryan Stanek. Pitch is inside. Ball down to third. Duffy's throw on the money to get Bowers. No runs, an infield hit, the man left. On to the fourth. 4-0 Rays. The new Rays Flex Pack has been released and features a limited time low price. $75 for 5 lower level tickets. Save up to 60% off the single game ticket price and get a Devil Rays pullover presented by Dex Imaging with every pack purchased. Visit RaysBaseball.com/flex. Rays up. He thinks it's a great idea. He's on board.
And putting it out, posting it on social media, tweeting about it.
There you are. Alex Smith takes a big cut and misses. Fourth inning underway. Checking to see if the angle was just right. Foul ball back, 0-2. Ground ball, first base. Uriel's going to step on the bag. Alex Smith, out number 1. Well, here is Carlos Gomez, who singled off the left field scoreboard and was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double to end the second inning. Which is a strike. We're in the fourth. The Rays scored 2 in the first on the home run by Ramos and 2 more on the base hit by Wendell. That came in the third. Now a 1-1 count on Gomez. Cole off to an 8-1 start. His big win year was with Pittsburgh in 2015. He was 19-8. Gomez checks in time. The count goes to 2-1. It's popped up right side into foul territory. Gurriel looks to put out on this one. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Johnny Field. Field hitting .234 with 6 home runs. Pitch is a strike. One and one. Lifting a fly ball toward the line and right. Long run by Reddick. He is there and makes the catch just as he arrived alongside the right field stands. Bottom of the fourth coming. 4-0 Rays. Subject of our Toyota Inside Look. Since 2011, ahead of Cano, Cabrera, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis in hits, 1,349. And the Astros have signed him up through 2024.
And guess what? That gap is going to get wider. Robinson Cano going to miss a big chunk of this season. Miguel Cabrera, with the biceps injury, is going to be out for an extended period of time. So he's going to put a lot of distance between himself and those two. In fact, they'll probably be passed by Adam Jones relatively quickly, too.
Well, here is Alex Bregman taking a strike. Matt Andriese on the hill.
You think about the last 5 seasons for Jose Altuve. And 313, his average back in 2015 is his lowest.
How about that? That's why he's consistently in the, certainly the top 5, maybe the top 3 of guys you want to put on your list to see play. 2-1. Andriese came on, got Springer on a ground ball to third to end the third. Pitch is lifted to the left side, near foul territory, and just foul. Adames makes the catch. And here is Jose Altuve coming to the plate. Altuve is the one guy, and this could be true of many pitchers. You see the hits leaders, he has 99, one more than Gene Segura. He's the one guy in this lineup who has some very good numbers against Andriese. He's 4 for 7 with a homer off Matt. This one is fouled, and the guy behind him, Correa's 2 for 4 with a home run. So these two very tough right-handed hitters batting second and third in the 4th inning against Matt Andriese. Stays in. 1-1. Pitch foul, the fastball up.
Well, and that's what makes Altuve and his numbers so impressive, because as you can see by that swing, he doesn't get cheated. And he doesn't go up there to look to put the ball in play and take his average. I mean, he cuts it loose.
Yeah, his object is to put the barrel of the bat to the baseball
as quickly as possible.
That's right. 2-2. He's just had that since the first time we've ever seen him, that you can't stop me mentality. And it has become contagious. You know, he was here when this club was losing 100 games and thinking all the while they were moving in the right direction. Ground ball, shortstop. Adames, long throw, safe. Well, Altuve hustles all the time and beats that one out.
I'll tell you, that was impressive, because really Adames, that ball came up on him just a little bit, but he didn't waste a lot of time here getting rid of it. See how that ball got up into his breadbasket? But Jose Altuve, by the way, from the right side, and he's in the back of the batter's box. That is getting up the line.
You know, the other impressive thing about this, we shouldn't even have to say it, but here's a guy who's signed through 24, and he's beating out a ground ball to shortstop. Again, another reason that he's a favorite here. So he's aboard with one out, and here's Carlos Correa. Two hits now for Houston. Inside. a strike. 1-1. Will be out of play. Ball at 2 strikes. Foul ball the other way again, back into the stands. Rays scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Leading Houston as the Astros bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. With the pickup. Now Altuve will go to third, throw into second, and that's going to be a double. A couple of guys who can run. Altuve beating out the infield hit. And Correa picking up his 15th double of the year, setting up second and third, 1 out.
A hard hit line drive into center field, and that was Carlos Correa just flat out challenging Malik Smith's arm. Yeah, it takes him a little bit to get up to full speed. Malik gets over to that ball. And Correa, there was no hesitation whatsoever. And he gets in just ahead of that throw. Right there, you're making an assessment. Can I get there? They've got all the reports, scouting reports on outfielders, their arm, their placement. And he's able to get in there. And now second and third.
So the Astros put up a threat. Here's Gurriel, the first baseman. This guy's been deadly with men in scoring position. This one knocked down by Wendell. The run will score. Altuve crosses the plate, and Wendell just went to third, hoping they might get Correa rounding the bag as Gurriel drives in a run and makes it 4-1.
Temporarily, Joey Wendell has just saved the Rays a run. That was a base hit, destined for the hole, destined for the outfield grass, and destined to score 2 runs. And watch this play. Right there. Now that's going to force the Astros, and then there's that flip very subtly to third. Correa not falling for it.
So the RBI for Gurriel, 4-1. Kyle Snyder to the mound. Josh Reddick's going to be the hitter. And the big conference out there on the hill. And this was started by the hustle of Altuve.
And don't think that that doesn't light up a dugout. Nothing has gone the Astros' way here early in this game, and the Rays with a quick 4-0 lead. And you see the 2017 MVP beat out what should have been just a routine ground ball to shortstop, and that is no fault of Willy Adames. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think it was just all Altuve.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you there. And now Josh Reddick. Pitch just missed, a little low, says Brian Knight. 1-0. Reddick 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Again, a pitch very close, and Knight will not go for it. Neither will Reddick, and it's 2-0.
Manfred trying to keep that ball down in the zone. He wants Reddick to pound that thing into the ground, and you think about turning a double play and getting out of this inning.
Instead, a fly ball into center. Malik Smith is there to make the catch. Runner at third will tag and score the throw to second. And it's 4-2. Reddick picking up his 20th run batted in. Gurriel remaining at first base after the catch.
Manfred staying down in the zone with that delivery, and it was actually a nice job by Reddick to get underneath it and lift it to the outfield. That allows the Astros to cut this lead in half. On a baseball left.
So Gurriel, who drove in the first run, still at first. He came into this game, by the way. We mentioned he's been murdered with men in scoring position. He came in 23 of 50, hitting .460 with men in scoring position this year.
That is absurd. Well,
strike to Gonzalez.
And you know what, Dwayne? He's going a long way in helping this team lead Major League Baseball in batting average with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
I mean, this team has been as clutch, if you want to call it that, or more clutch than anybody in the game.
Well, the one-out infield single started it. Altuve, he has scored. Correa doubled into center. He has scored. Gurriel's at first with 2 outs. It's been lifted toward the left field line. That's going to fall, and it's a foul ball. There's only 5 feet between the foul line and the wall down there, and it fell foul. And then out of reach.
Boy, fortunate here for the Rays, because you see how far everybody had to go to try to get there, and not by much. The only good thing is that would have ended up in the stands, but runners would be at second and third now. That close.
Gonzalez with an 0-2 count. Upstairs, 1 and 2. And a 258 average Gonzalez came into this game with is a marked improvement over the past 2 to 3 weeks. He was hitting 214 about 2.5 weeks ago, and now it's up to 258.
That's some good work.
Fouled this one away
In a real short period of time.
Yeah, 396. He went 21 for 53 to get that average up to start to push 260.
Big reason why this team's on a run of winning 11 straight.
Ground ball back to the hill. Andres with the toss to first. Houston scores 2, leaving 1. We go to the 5th. 4-2 Rays. Tonight's Geico Great Moment. We flash back Game 7 of the 2017 World Series, and George Springer homers for the 5th time in the Fall Classic. Houston claiming its first World Series title with a 5-1 win. Well, we go on now to the 5th, and the top of the order, Matt Duffy, takes a strike. Duffy walked and scored in the 3rd, and he held up 1-1. Now Springer with those 5 home runs in the World Series. Look at that. Reggie Jackson, Chase Utley, George Springer.
Reg. Didn't he have 3 of those in one game? Right?
Yes, he did. Against the Dodgers. 1-2 here on Duffy. A little ground ball. That'll be handled by Altuve. And that's out number 1. Speaking of Altuve, you go back to that infield hit just by way of comparison. You know, they break them down now. How many feet per second these guys can run? Just to give you a comparison. You know, they've said Byron Buxton of the Twins.
Yeah.
As fast as you can find. 30.2 feet per second for Buxton. And we had Altuve going down the line 31.6 to beat out that ground ball to shortstop. So when you say Adames did everything he could do, he did.
Yeah.
And it was the veteran second baseman Altuve just busting it down the line.
You know, the 30 is considered elite speed.
Yeah.
That is the top end, whatever. 31, say, you know, you'd like to go back and look at feet per second up the first base line, because that right there is going to be top 3, if not the fastest all season.
When you're talking about Buxton at 30.2,
and that, but was that on an outfield play or up the line? Yeah, that's where these things, I think they categorize them. But you could go put that number, and I think that's the one I would take as the fastest in the game probably this year.
Yeah, I would have to think
about
so.
that. I mean, here you go. I mean, what was Tony Kemp on the little roller earlier in the game? What was that? Because that was blazing too.
Yeah, Bauer's out on strikes on the breaking ball. Knuckle curve got him. Well, we'll do some research on that. But it was the hustle of Altuve that set up their 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Now Ramos takes the pitch too low. One and one. Two up, 2 down in the 5th. Two and one. Ramos connecting for his 9th home run of the year in the 1st off Cole. A walk against Cole in the 3rd. Taps it foul to even the count. C.J. Cron on deck. High chop. Retreating off the mound, Cole makes the play. And a 1-2-3 inning. That's 2 in a row in the 1-2-3 inning department. 7 straight retired by Cole. Rays 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot now open exclusively online, so make sure your favorite Ray is represented on this year's squad by voting at raysbaseball.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th live on Fox. Well, Wilson Ramos off to a great start in the balloting, so keep it up. Ramos has kept it up with a home run tonight. And here is Brian McCann taking a soft pitch, breaking ball in for strike one. Tony Kemp will be next, followed by George Springer. 0-2. Foul ball, this one out of play. Liner into right. Here comes Gomez to make the catch and retire McCann. Well, important to keep that leadoff man, regardless of who it is, off the base. And the Rays have done that every inning tonight. Now Altuve beat out that infield ground ball to short with one out in the fourth. That'll lead to a couple runs. In fact, neither team tonight has been able to put the leadoff man on. Here's Tony Kemp. Which is upstairs.
I'll tell you the other thing that you don't want to allow happen if you're Matt Andriese and the Rays is to allow the bottom of the Astro lineup to get a full head of steam rolling over to the top once again.
Well, you're right about that. You know, the successful teams more times than not bunch all those good hitters together. So if you get some production from the lower end and you swing it around to the top end, Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's where innings tend to get out of hand.
Now strike 2-1. It's foul right off his speedy foot. 2-2.
Need those babies. We saw him put those in full display his first at bat. How important the wheels are to Tony Kemp.
Houston drafted him back in 2013. He's come up through their system. Stole a lot of bases in the minor leagues. One out, base is empty. 2-2 here. Kemp, a little issue perhaps with his shoe. Whatever it was, it appears to be okay right now, or maybe not. To check it again.
Get some of that clay stuck in between the plastic cleats.
After fouling that ball off that foot, how could he feel it?
That's right. Good question. Maybe it was a toe.
And a ground ball to second. It'll be handled by Wendell. 2 up and 2 down. FIFA World Cup action continues tomorrow on Fox and FS1. Kicking off with Colombia and Japan at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific on FS1. Then Poland battles Senegal at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific on Fox, followed by Russia taking on Egypt at 1, noon, and 10. The FIFA World Cup Tuesday on Fox and FS1, or stream live on your Fox Sports app. A ball, no strikes, the count to George Springer. Springer is fouled out and grounded out. And ahead in the count, 2-0. With the bases empty in the bottom of the 5th. And Grease misses again. Ryan Stanek began this game. Worked an inning in 2/3. Johnny Venters for an inning. It's been Andriese since. Now strike 3-1. And the ball 4, check in time by Springer. It's the first walk of the game given up by Rays pitching. Alex Bregman will be the hitter. Take a look at this check.
Borderline pitch below the zone, and an easy hold there for Springer. You see Wilson Ramos down there asking for it, but he wasn't even close to going. Which sometimes you never know when you may get that call. You know, you never know. Always ask.
Never hurts to ask. Bergman looks it up the right side, out of play. Strike 1. Last outing for Andriese came on Wednesday in the Toronto series. That was a game the Rays came away with a 1-0 victory. Started by Wilmer Font, then Andriese and Castillo. Andrews pitched 3 2/3 in that game. Gave up a couple of hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Springer back in at first. Upstairs, it's 1-1. Bregman, 23 years old, hit 19 home runs last year. And the pitch is down. Here's a guy, Bregman, who it would seem on the surface could be a walking contradiction. He's a guy who tends to be very aggressive at the plate, but shows good strike zone discipline. It tells me that he's ready to hit, but not chase.
That's the perfect hitter. I mean, that would be the description for me of the perfect hitter. I'm super aggressive, but I have great strike zone discipline.
Yeah.
So I want you to be aggressive on pitches that are in the zone.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
But sometimes those hitters who are very aggressive wind up out of the zone chasing pitches most of the time. But he's very good about that.
Now that's why.
That's where the discipline comes in.
And a lot of people look and say that you know, he's a guy that continues to be on the rise, that there's still better baseball left in him because of those characteristics.
And a cut and a miss. He's out on strikes this time. A man left. We go to the 6th. 4-2 Rays.
No.
Wilson Ramos belted a 2-run home run in the first with Bowers aboard after he had drawn the walk. Joey Wendell, a clutch base hit, driving in Duffy and Bowers in the third to make it 4-0. A couple of runs for Houston in the fourth, one of them coming on the Yuli Gurriel base hit. Another one on a fly ball, and we're headed into the 6th with the score 4-2. Garrett Cole, the starter, still on the hill for Houston, and the Rays will have the middle part of the order. Crone, Wendell, and Adames due up. And that's a strike. Crone has struck out twice. First time on a knuckle curveball. Last time on a slider. And he swings through a fastball upstairs.
Yeah, same thing. Fastball up, on the inner half of the plate.
Ground ball, backhanded by Bregman. Throw to first, they're gonna get it. Oh, what a play by Alex Bregman at third base. Crone, who's been struggling, thinking he might have a hit right there, but Bregman denies it.
He never set his feet to throw, Dwayne. Bonefish Grill, fresh play of the game. He just throws it on the run, fading away. Just get it close, let it bounce, and let Yuli Gurriel, who's done a great job for the Astros over at first base, scoop that baby up.
Outstanding glove work and throw. Joey Wendell takes a strike.
But we've seen a couple of very confident throws made by Astro fielders. When you think about Marwin Gonzalez out in left earlier in the game to get Gomez at second, and then that throw right there by Bregman.
Pitch had some bite down and in. Disappeared on Wendell, 0-2. Gonzalez and Bregman. Their fine defensive work tonight. And that strike three call. He thought the pitch was away. Might have been. Tough call right there, and Wendell is caught looking.
Yeah, got caught up in that sequence, and that pitch, there's nothing Joey Wendell. Maybe foul it off. To be off the plate by a few inches at least.
Willie Adames takes a pitch just on that corner for a strike. Ball, 0-2. Cole seems to have found his groove right now. First ball fouled out of play. 0-2. Alvarado throwing in the bullpen for the Rays. Just a little bit of that one by Adames. Still 2 strikes. Boy, how about this for Cole? Pick any time through the lineup, but the third time through, 141.
Yeah, just an on base at 210. It's his best time, and that usually not the case. You're hoping to hold serve between your first and second, not improve.
And these days, there are a ton of pitchers who don't even get that opportunity. Close, but ball 2.
There's some starting pitchers, Dwayne, in Major League Baseball now that won't even be allowed to go through the lineup one time.
Pitch is down, and it's a full count. On deck, Malik Smith. He would be up should Adames reach. And he is out on strikes. 3-2 slider got him. Bottom of the 6th coming, 4-2 Rays.
against the Houston Astros. Well, it's time now for your Chevy Prospect Spotlight. We're taking a look at second baseman Kian Wong, who in the last 14 games down in AAA Durham is hitting .375 with a .417 on-base percentage. And in those 14 games, 9 had multi-hits. Wong is a Hawaii native and the little brother of the Cardinals, Colton Wong. Guys.
Yeah, in his last 5 games, he's hitting .500, 9 of 18. So he's red hot down there, and one of the multitude of infielders we were talking about the other day the Rays have in the system. Here's a big cut in the miss. Big swing by Altuve, leading off the bottom of the 6th, strike 1. Jose Altuve singled and scored in the 4th when he beat out the ground ball to short. That started it. Upstairs, 1-1. Carlos Correa will hit second, and then Yuli Gurriel. Ground ball, and it's going to be past the diving Duffy. Down into the corner and a long run for Field. Altuve rounding second, and he's going to go. Field had some difficulty in the corner. Altuve was going to pull up after rounding second, but with the corner in full view, Altuve took a peek in there and decided to go to third.
Well, this whole play starts with Matt Duffy. Look at, he is at the cut. So being so shallow, you do not have very much range at all on that chopper. And he's not able to get there. If he's playing a traditional third base, he's got a chance to at least glove that baseball. And there's the trouble with Johnny Field in the corner, trying to pick that baseball up. Altuve more than willing to stay as a double, but he sees the ball being dropped and jogs into third.
Well, here's Correa now. They posted a triple for Altuve, but boy, you could make a strong case for a double and an error because he was stopping, and when the ball was bobbled, he took off for third. Want to know the count to Correa. And a shot foul. Rebounding off the stands.
The Rays with a 2-run lead right now. Altuve at third with nobody out. Infield obviously conceding this run.
Well, if that triple ruling stands, it will be the third for Altuve. And another foul ball third base side. It's 1-2. Rays have 4 runs, 3 hits. Houston 2 runs, 5 hits. And a major opportunity with a man in third and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th for Houston. And a wave and a miss. He got Correa to chase and picks up a very big strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Well, you're giving a team a run. It puts the onus on the pitcher. And great job there by Matt Andriese, first getting him to 2 strikes and then making it count with that pitch well out of the zone that he gets a chase out of.
Well, now another tough assignment with Yuli Gurriel. He drove in the run in the 4th, and look at this now with that RBI. He's hitting .471 with runners in scoring position. They have the top 2 in Gurriel and Altuve, both over .400. Wilson Ramos makes a visit to the mound. And out comes Kevin Cash. So Kevin Cash walking to the mound. He's going to make a call to the bullpen. This brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
Photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Well, Matt Andriese departs with a man at third and one out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Call goes for the hard-throwing left-hander, Alvarado. Andriese made 51 pitches, working 2 2/3, 4 hits, a couple strikeouts and a walk. And he's accountable for the man at third. So the power arm comes in against Gurriel.
Well, this is where you have the opportunity of being able to punch Gurriel out. You got a long way to go to get there. But Alvarado has the stuff. He's got 33 of them in 29 and a third innings.
So forget the lefty-righty. This is about trying to get a strikeout. Gurriel punches a base hit into left to score the run. And he comes through again. 2 for 3 tonight with men in scoring position. Started the night 23 for 50 with men in scoring position. And he drives in Altuve to make it 4 to 3.
Breaking ball stayed up. He got a good look at it and roped that thing into left field. And just a relentless lineup, one after the other. And a lot of big hits.
Well, Tyler White will pinch hit for Redding now. Redding, the left-handed batter. Jay Hinch sends up the right-handed bat. There's a fastball at 98 for a strike. The pinch a penny pinch hitter, Tyler White. He fouls a fastball at 97. White called upon to pinch hit yesterday in Kansas City when Houston won the extra inning game to extend its winning streak to 11. Just recalled from their AAA club in Fresno Friday. It's a ball, 2-strike count. Liner foul, look out. Gary Pettis making sure he got out of the way. The Houston third base coach. Well, he's been quick all his life in this game. You talk about a guy who could get down the line. He certainly could. And he just, the judges are giving him 7 and 8 on that dive.
Not bad. Room for improvement. Didn't have a lot of time to think about and was not able to stick that landing.
Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When blocked by Ramos, and the count is full. Well, the Rays got 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Houston 2 in the fourth, 1 so far in the sixth. And a nice block by Ramos. 1 on, 1 out here. Strike 3 call. He gets White looking. First strikeout for Alvarado. Second out of the inning.
The best pitch of his outing so far. That breaking ball hard down the middle, just above the knees, and White, no argument from him.
Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Struck out against Venters in the third. He went out pitcher first against Andres in the fourth. Now he faces Alvarado, and there's a strike. All 3 Houston runs charged to Andres. Ground ball, that's going to be a base hit. Into left, out of the reach of Adames.
Nobody said that that beating this team is going to be very easy, and the Rays trying to hold on here, having to fight for everything. Gonzalez gets that ball in the hole, hit it hard enough to get it by Adames.
Well, 2 hits given up by Alvarado. Gurriel at second, Gonzalez at first. Gaddis had come out on deck and had been announced. And you see Kevin Cash coming out to react to that. Another call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Houston. Rays holding a 4-3 lead. Diego Castillo will get the call with Evan Gattis, who has been an unstoppable force during their 11-game winning streak with 6 home runs and a slugging percentage of .841. He's the American League Player of the Week, so named today. He had 4 home runs and drove in 15 runs in the week.
Who do you think that headshot was taken? 2015?
Diego Castillo to face Gattis. Houston runners at first and second. Gonzalez on first, Gurriel on second. The pitch is a ball inside.
Well, as hot as anybody, as productive as anybody, as aggressive as anybody, no batting gloves. He is just up there to try to turn baseballs into eggs.
Ground ball, third base. Duffy goes to second for the force, and that retires the side. A run scores, 2 left, 4-3 Rays. Pre-game show presented by your local Honda dealers, because Todd Callis will be the subject of the interview tomorrow. And we have a marquee pitching matchup. That'll be Snell against Verlander, but forget that. Todd Callis is on the pre-game show tomorrow.
I mean, what a build-in. What a build-in. Callis into that matchup.
Absolutely.
None of this footage ever gets old.
He's more intrepid than the weatherman. Sleet, snow, wind, the whole thing. And there he is telling someone to get out of the booth. Cole's still on the mound here in the 7th, and the first pitch is a strike into Malik Smith. Ground ball, and it's stopped at first. 3 unassisted. White, who entered the game as a pinch hitter, made that play down at first.
Boy, quick reaction. This ball was hit extremely hard right there, even with the bag, and a quick backhand, and then scamper over to first base.
Carlos Gomez taking a big cut and missing. Strike 1. Eleven in a row retired by Cole. Thrown into the dirt. And it's 1-1. it in a bit. 2-1. And that pitch did not break enough. It's 3-1. Upstairs for ball 4. Fifth walk given up by Cole. Number of changes by Houston. We saw White's at first base now. Gurriel moves over to play third. The left fielder is now Bregman, who started at third, and Gonzalez, who started in left, is in right field. Stassi doing the catching with McCann out of the ball game. Here's Johnny Field, 1 on, 1 out. Ball, no strikes. The Rays get their first base runner since Wendell singled home the third and fourth runs of the game for the Rays in the third. Runner takes off, the pitch hit on the ground, just foul. So the Rays had Gomez on the move. The count to Field goes to a ball and a strike. Two and one. Cole with 113 pitches on the night. Runner goes. The pitch popped up. Shallow right. Gonzalez coming in to make the catch. 2 gone and back to first. Gomez.
Kevin Cash not going to sit idly by and let Houston claw its way back into this game and you know, not ask some things with this Rays offense. As he put Gomez in motion, trying to get something going down there at the bottom of the order. Matt Duffy's been your most consistent hitter all season long, coming up here now.
He has walked and scored, has a stolen base tonight. And a strike.
Sometimes you can feel that momentum start to build on the other side. The crowd's starting to get into it. Astros have had some chances the last few innings and cashed in.
Ground ball grabbed by Cole. Throw to first. And the Rays are out in the 7th inning. Springing grab there by Cole. No run to walk, a man left. We're in the middle of the 7th inning in Houston. 4-3 Rays. Sports South is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Rooms to Go. And by your local Honda dealer. Rays scored 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third. Houston trimming that to a 1-run margin with 2 in the fourth and 1 in the sixth. And now we go to the 7th inning. Diego Castillo got the final out in the 6th. On to begin the 7th, and here's Tony Kemp.
And this is a huge AB right here because of Tony Kemp's speed. Later in the game, leading off an inning.
Duffy in on the grass.
Way in.
The pitch is a strike.
You try to take it away from him.
Ground ball right side. This time Bowers makes the pickup and the play unassisted. They keep Kemp off the bases to begin the bottom of the 7th. Now George Springer, the top side of the order. Springer walked in the 5th, otherwise 0 for 2. First pitch strike. Tap to third. Duffy comes up and whips that throw to first base. And a nice pickup there. That not overly hard, but a tough little short hop for him to make the pickup and the accurate throw. 2 away.
Just sliding over to his left, take that ground ball. Everything now big. You're going to have to go through this lineup one more time.
And here's Bregman now in left field. 0 for 3 tonight. He's been on base in the last 28 games. For a month, he has been on base every day.
Consistency, I'll tell you that.
Two and 0.
Think about the pitching that you face night in and night out, and to never have an off night. Yes, certainly you may not get a hit that night, but you work an at-bat or two and take a walk, find something, find some way to help the team offensively.
And a tapper third. Duffy turns and throws and gets his man. So 3 ground balls there in the 7th inning. A quick inning for Castillo. 4-3 Rays.
is now over. And early on, after a walk in that first inning, Wilson Ramos greets him on the next pitch with a 2-run homer. Joey Wendell, this is with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and that was brought on by 3 walks by Garrett Cole. Struggled with his command early on, but then he settled in and went on a nice run through those middle innings, and that's when the Astros coincidentally were able to get back into this ball game. Getting better with the slider, the curveball, helping him out with some athleticism on the mound. The fastball was tightened up a bit, and he ends up going 7 innings, giving up just those 4 runs, but he trails here as we head into the last 2 innings of this ball game.
Well, the Astros bullpen has been very good. Tops in the major leagues with a .278 earned run average, 4th overall. The starters tops and the bullpen following in close pursuit. Will Harris, the new pitcher, making his 31st appearance with a mark of 2-3 and a .432 earned run average. Jake Bauers up here. The count goes to 1-1. So 116 pitches for Cole. He walked 5, gave up 3 hits, and the Rays got him for 4 runs, 8 strikeouts tonight. 2-1. Jerry Davis down at 3rd, indicating Bauers held up. Count goes to 2-2. Full count here to Bauers. Waiting on deck, Ramos. The liner into left field on the run. A diving attempt. Bregman can't get it. It's going to go to the wall. And down to second with a leadoff double is Jake Bauers. And the Rays offense showing some life here for the first time since the 3rd. That's the 4th double for Bauers.
Well, Will Harris is cutter curveball, and so you get a chance to see both of those offerings, and Bauers able to get up on top of that cutter in the zone. Stroke that ball into left field. Alex Bregman trying to make a play, and comes up a hair short. Great way to start the 8th inning.
Well, Ramos now with the chance to add to the Rays' 1-run lead. And up the right side, a liner going to be caught for the out. Gonzalez taking care of that line drive.
You know, and that ball was lined so quickly to Gonzalez in right field that Jake Bauers didn't even have a chance to get back to second base. He's kind of, you know, he takes a secondary lead, ball off the bat. You follow it, the trajectory of it, and it got out to Gonzalez so quickly that nothing he could do except retreat.
Now C.J. Cron trying to come up with his first hit of the night. Been a tough run for Cron recently. 0-1 the count. C.J. 0 for 22 right now. And down in the count, 0-2. And during this stretch, it seems that almost every at-bat begins 0-2.
Well, and you know, that didn't need to. You know, sometimes that's the pitcher executing. Other times it's you going out of the zone. And that ball clearly up and out of the zone. But C.J. Cron continues to push the envelope, trying to make something happen.
And he chased that one up, way up.
Yeah. And this is not lost on opposing pitching staffs. And they understand right now, to get C.J. Cron out, you do not have to be in the strike zone.
See how high that was out of the zone. Well, Joey Wendell came up with a big clutch hit in the third. That's the difference in the game. Trying to do it again. And a cut and a miss. Strike one. 2 outs here in the 8th with a man at second base. And the breaking ball got a swing and a miss for Harris. Chaz Rowe out there in the bullpen for the Rays. Just a little bit of that one. And Wendell down quickly, 0-2. Top of the 8th. Rays with a leadoff double. Runner still out there. Jake Bauers with 2 away. And Wendell tried to hold up. He is out on strikes. Breaking ball again got him. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Bottom of the 8th coming. It's a 4-3 ball game, Rays. Coming up, Rays Live, the Bolts game, presented by WB Mason. It'll be Rich and Doug anchoring our coverage from Houston. The Rays got to the right-hander Garrett Cole early, and then he found his stride. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and minor league updates from around the Rays farm system. All coming up on Rays Live, the postgame. Chaz Rowe, the new pitcher for the Rays. It will be the middle part of this lineup for Houston. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and Yuli Gurriel.
Well, for the 34th time, 32 strikeouts, 28 innings.
First pitch and a line drive. Base hit into right. Altuve takes it the other way and picks up his 3rd hit of the night. He's 3 for 4. Correa heads to the plate.
Well, this pitch, you know, inside out, so that's a fastball that stayed middle in. Doesn't waste any time, gives the Astros a base runner.
Over to first. High toss. Correa back in. 10 of 12 in the steal department. The pitch is a strike. A quick delivery by Rowe to unload that pitch. Altuve back in. It's been Stanek, Venters, Andriese, Alvarado, Castillo, and Rowe. Off the plate a little bit, just a bit.
Well, opposing base stealers just 1 for 3 off Chaz Rowe. Altuve 10 out of 12.
Down and away. 2-1. You could see Rowe holding the ball a little extra that time before delivering.
Well, that's one of the ways that you see right-handed pitchers try to deal with potential base stealers. You know, you don't have that bird's eye view of a lefty, so you vary times. You know, sometimes you'll come set a pause, go right to the plate. Other times you hold. Sometimes you just hold and step off. You're just trying to mess up the timing of the base runner.
That's a strike. 2-2.
And by the way, all the time that you're doing that, you've still got to make quality pitches to the plate. And these base stealers, whether they go or not, they're just trying to get you to think about them. Maybe all of a sudden you hang something and the hitter can take advantage.
Again, a move over there. Rowe keeping an eye on the base runner Altuve, varying his hold time before he delivers, and at the same time trying to be quick to the plate. Two, breaking ball, and slider that stayed in for a long time. And now the count is full, 3-2.
Maybe trying to move that leg out there at the last second.
Maybe
to take it.
Gave it a shot, didn't he?
He did look like he did.
3-2 now. Runner goes, and the pitch is a strike, and the throw sails into center field. And all the way to third goes Altuve. Correa strikes out, but with Altuve moving, the throw tailed and really sailed into center field to send the runner all the way to third.
Now got a great jump, and what that ended up doing was force a rush throw from Wilson Ramos.
Now Gurriel, as we mentioned, has been on fire with men in scoring position. He's the hitter with the infield pulled up, and the pitch is a strike.
Yeah, here's that rush throw by Wilson. Coming down, it's a breaking ball, and he knows he's got to get rid of it quick, and he's not able to fully step into that throw and get out in front, and that's why that ball sailed on him. And he knew it. A tough pitch to handle, and not a lot of time to deal with it.
And strike two on the outside edge. And 0-2 count. Single to right, a steal to move to third on the error. 481 with men in scoring position for Yuli Gurriel. foul ball. Pitch just on the edge.
I wonder what he would feel like going with the fastball up and in right here. You see Gurriel on that slider right there, diving out over the plate, selling out for it. Fastball up and in. If nothing else, it's just going to stand him up a little bit. Maybe he's reaching on that next pitch, and he still may get him out.
And this one missed low. He stayed with the slider. It's a ball, 2 strikes. And a popper left side. Adames retreating a couple of steps into the outfield after that one. And they get a very big out on a tough hitter, Gurriel. With the infield in, Rowe gets the pop to short. 2 away. Tyler White will be the hitter. Pinch hit for Reddick in the 6th inning. He's called out on strikes. Now he faces Chaz Rowe. Ground ball, shortstop. Adames with the throw to first, and Houston will leave the potential tying run at third base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. On to the 9th we go, 4-3 Rays. Well, a big matchup tomorrow. We'll be with you beginning at 7:30 with our coverage, and it will be Blake Snell against Justin Verlander. It just doesn't get any better than that.
No, this is one of the marquee matchups in the entire game of baseball. Blake Snell putting together a great year. Justin Verlander maybe putting together his best year. You can believe that. That's how dominant he's been. Look at the ERA. I mean, think about that. Blake Snell's ERA is great at 2.58, and Verlander's almost a full run below that. Racking up the wins, racking up the starts, and holding those opponent hitters way down.
Well, Colin McHugh will be the new pitcher for Houston, and a big swing and a miss by Willie Adames. Strike 1 on the fastball in at 91. McHugh, fastball, slider, curveball. He'll cut the ball or use the cutter. I'm not sure he actually cuts the ball.
Could.
Yeah, you could.
Never know.
And this went back to the mound, knocked down, and the toss to first. Adames retired. Malik Smith. Well, the Rays had a chance with that leadoff double in the 8th, left a man on. Altuve opened the bottom of the 8th with a base hit, wound up at 3rd on a steal and an error. And Houston left him aboard. Now Malik Smith. Gurriel is up short of the bat, and he takes the pitch for a strike. By the way, that triple by Altuve, they've decided that it's a double after all, and an error charged to field and left. So that 6th inning triple now stands as a double. Marishnik in center field, a couple other defensive switches. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a wave and a miss. Now 1-2. You got to look at Kemp, who's over and left. Bregman has returned to 3rd, and Gurriel is at first base. And a wave and a miss on a pitch down and in. Tossed down to first to Gurriel. 2 gone.
Let's see if the Rays are going to be able to get the final 3 outs here with this lead, whether it's 1 or they continue to tack another 1 or 2 on. But I'll tell you, you knew that they were going to need some help here tonight going against Garrett Cole. And opportunistic is the word that comes to mind.
Yep.
You know, all those walks, and 3 of the 4 runs for the Rays started out as a walk. But they, you know what, to their credit, they cashed them in early. Can they make them hold up?
Strike the count to Gomez, and he cues it off the end of the bat. We saw Romo up in the bullpen for the Rays.
No, he's going to get the bottom of the lineup. Doesn't necessarily mean it's that weak of a bottom of a lineup. It's 7, 8, 9.
There's a shot down the left field line, but it's going to be a foul ball back into the corner. And again, not a lot of foul territory. If that ball is not in the stands foul, there's only about 5 feet of foul territory down between the wall and the line in the corner. Way wide and to the backstop. 1-2. Gonzalez, Stassi, and Kemp will be due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Gomez out on strikes. Romo for the Rays. 4-3 ball game, bottom of the 9th inning coming. Rays scored 2 in the first on a homer by Wilson Ramos. 2 more in the third. Houston back with 2 in the fourth and 1 in the sixth. Houston leaving 6 men on base, the Rays 4. And as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, when the Rays said it's going to be a bullpen day, it has been that. Pitcher number 7 for the Rays is Sergio Romo.
Well, so far they have pieced it together well enough to go into this situation with the lead, and up to Sergio Romo now to close it out.
Marwin Gonzalez will be the first man to face him. Pitch down just a little bit. 1-0. Big shift is on. Adames in short right field from shortstop. Two and 0. And that one is just a little bit inside. Now 3-0.
Well, didn't miss much with the first pitch down and away. That one cuts all the way across the plate, ends up a little bit in. See if Marwin Gonzalez here has the green light or is going to take at least a strike.
And ball 4. That pitch down and away again. And, you know, on some days, that's the perfect pitch. Not tonight. It's a ball and a 4-pitch walk.
Well, very similar to the pitch that he started him with. Not getting called down just below the knees.
Stassi up here, the catcher. First plate appearance of the night. And that's a strike.
Yeah, this is tough. You know, Sergio Romo against these right-handed hitters and that slider and how much ground it covers. And then a guy like Stassi, who's not seen anything like this before. With the lower arm angle and a breaking ball that seemingly just does not stop moving away from you.
Lays off the pitch down. 1-1. Gonzalez back in. Rays have been out hit 8-4. They lead 4-3. Bottom of the 9th in Houston. Popped up, foul ball. That's back and out of play. Rays trying to snap the 11-game winning streak by Houston. Line drive, base hit. Into left. Up to second goes Gonzalez. And the first 2 men are aboard.
Oh, you're trying to sweep that breaking ball down and away and off the plate for the chase with 2 strikes. Look at this ends up right in the middle of the plate. That's the only chance that he had. A good job of waiting on it, letting that ball come to him, and then popping it into left field. And here we go.
Tony Kemp who had an infield hit in the 3rd inning. Left-handed batter up here, and he's showing the bunt. That's a strike. Gonzalez trying to take as much ground as he can off second, and he went back in diving head first, and Ramos is ready to fire down to second.
That's where you've got to be careful as a base runner. You got to see that ball down and not assume it's going to be put down. And these catchers, guys like Wilson Ramos, they're going to pop behind you.
And he takes this one a little low. 1-1. I'll tell you, on some of these misses, Romo has been tantalizingly close to the strike zone, but can't get a call down there.
And how late was Kemp getting the bat back? Ooh, right there at the end. And you're right, another borderline pitch.
1-1. Down and in. Did he offer? Jerry Davis says no, down at 3rd.
You know, and you think when you square around like that, you get a pitch yanked in at your feet, it's hard to get the bat back as you try to get out of the way. He did a real nice job of pulling that right to his left bicep.
And he puts down the bunt. Flips to first out there, and the runners move to second and 3rd. Bauer's turn to make the throw with Wendell covering. And that'll be the top of the order. Within its 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
This was actually a nice play by Jake Bauers. This ball is tight and close to the line. Great job of getting it down by Kemp. But he comes down, attacks it, turns and throws without really looking and without much of an angle. I mean, look where he's throwing that from. Boy, he's side saddle. I mean, he's straddling the first baseline, throwing sidearm right on the money.
And the Rays talk it over on the mound. Now Snyder.
Sergio Romo, a couple little headbutts with Wilson Ramos, buddy. It's me and you. We got to make this happen.
Top of the order, George Springer coming up.
There we go. Final instructions. Hey, let's go. I love it.
First time Romo has faced Springer. The pitch down, popping away, but not far enough to give Gonzalez any ideas at 3rd.
The Rays with the overload to the left side. Everybody up tight. Here's that breaking ball well down in the dirt. Good job by Ramos to keep it close, keep his eye on him and Marwin.
Count. And a big cut in the miss. And now they're going to call catcher's interference. Springer will be awarded first on catcher's interference.
He got so big and long with his swing. Yeah, he takes such a big rip here. And if he did, he must have just caught the bottom edge of the glove. Don't see anything there.
Springer made that call before anybody.
Yes, he did.
So the bases are loaded. And here's Bregman. Alex Bregman. The pitch is a little bit down. 1 ball, no strikes.
And the Rays move the middle infielders, I guess you could call them, back. You know, Joey Wendell is on the shortstop side of second base out here. But they move him back with the idea, ball on the ground, we're going for a double play to end this game, period.
Ball foul. 1-1 with Bregman. He's been on base in 28 consecutive games. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Rays want to see if they can keep that going tonight. 28's enough.
Finished.
The 1-1. And a shot into left center field. That's going to do it. Gonzalez scores. Stassi scores. Houston wins it 5-4. Bregman on the walk-off. Streak goes to 12 for Houston. Bregman is credit for the double. Driving in the tying and winning run, and here it is.
That ball stayed up enough. Bregman sitting on the breaking ball and had just enough plate coverage to get the barrel to it. That ball left the bat, you knew that game was over.
McHugh will get the win, Romo the loss. And Houston takes game 1 of this series 5-4. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. 5-4 the final. Rays Live, the post game comes your way next. We'll see you tomorrow night.